Hello. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Sir, I am audible to you.
Am I audible? I restarted it again.
Hello. Sir,
Am
am
I-
I audible to you?
Yes, yes. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
Ah. So allow me to share my presentation.
Sir, wait for a while. Let us just conclude the introduction of yours.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Next we know we do something. See, I was here. Our objective is our purpose in academics while working in the university is to see that the university march towards excellence. Excellence, according to me, that the university faculty members will formulate strategies and they will create a culture of excellence. Strategy means the pedagogy, the learning process, the students' community development, faculty development, infrastructure development, and culture means the culture of love and respect, the culture of secularism inside the campus, the culture of inclusiveness in the campus is very, very important. So the university excellence stands on three pillars. The pillar of quality of teaching and learning, quality of research, quality of extension service. The quality of research is the foundational pillar of university excellence because we want the quality of research and publications improve, the learning improves, which will help in quality of teaching and learning, which will also help in quality of extension services. Quality of extension service, if you are not clear, let me explain that how you are transferring your knowledge that you have acquired to the society at large by extension services, by organizing conferences, to developing patents, transferring technology, transferring knowledge base to the benefit of the mankind, which is the spirituality of the university, spiritual aspects of the university. Spiritual aspect is not chanting Joy Sri Ram. Spirituality means extending service to the society. Spirit of service to the mankind is called spirituality according to Swami Vivekananda. So this is what excellence is. Now let me tell you who is a teacher. Because teacher is the prime mover in an university. If you look to some of the quotation, a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell when his influence stops. That means a teacher, a faculty member like you, can create assets, that is human capital in the university, in the society, in order to create good human beings, not divisive human beings, inclusive, pluralistic, democratic human beings to serve the society. A teacher affects eternity. Teaching should be such that what is offered is perceived as a valuable gift, not as a hard duty. That means you as a teacher, your duty is to give the children, give the students community, to give the students community and industry and other employers a gift which is the formation of the human capital. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. This is what we think of the effective teachers we have had over the years with a sense of recognition But those who have touched our humanity, we remember them with a deep sense of gratitude. We remember our teacher. I am a teacher for the last 57 years. Apart from 10 years working in the industry in top management position, for 47 years I have worked in academics. 10 years I have worked in industry in the top management position. But I still remember I have thousands of students and I have also many hundreds of teachers. We are in a relationship in which we are in a deep sense of gratitude to my teachers, and my students are also in deep sense of gratitude to me. This is what a teacher means. This is a very important slide in your program. Ethical responsibility of a university teacher. There are 4 gears. Gears as a leader of the new generation. You as a teacher, you are a leader to the new generation. A leader means you could proactively articulate the aspirations of your students and provide them leadership in the classroom as well as in the university campus to make them worthy citizens of the nation and global citizens finally. As a leader, as a teacher, you are an agent of social change. You will bring social transformation, not towards worst change, not towards a change for better quality of life, a change for better human being, a change for a democratic, liberal society in which we can all live together with no hatredness, but with love towards each other. We are teachers. Our personality is very, very important. And our profession, beyond our boundaries, are also important. This is what you call the 4 gears of ethical responsibility of a teacher. Okay. Now, what is the competency of a university teacher? If you look to the competency of a university teacher, competency consists of, at the top of the here, skills and knowledge is 2 components of competency. They are necessary for top performance of a teacher, but not sufficient. What is important for a teacher? The values, social role, self-image, trade, motive, and that will lead to longer term success of a teacher. My final slide will give you the idea about this. So please bear with me till the end. I'll go into explaining to you competency building cycle of a teacher. You as a teacher, you have to build your competency, that is your knowledge, skills, and other aspects, personality, by this method. This, please remember very carefully. You have to start with learning. Learning creates knowledge. Learning creates knowledge. Learning may be from the internal source, learning may be from our parents, learning may be from our teachers, learning may be from our neighbors, learning may be from our seniors, which will create knowledge in us. So it will be internal learning, which we call from the books and colleges, and external learning through our observations and work, which will create knowledge in us. This knowledge which we gather, which is called the human capital, will fuel innovation. Innovation means thinking every process, every activity. Innovatively means differently, creatively, so that we bring a transformation. And this innovation will lead to what I call the change. Change is nothing but transformation. Change is essential for human existence. Change is not for deterioration. Change is for acceleration. Change is for progress. Change is for development. Again, when the change takes place, it will accelerate learning. So our teacher community, our faculty community must understand this cycle very carefully. That means they have to engage in learning to create the knowledge base in the university. And the university will engage in innovation. And its innovation, the university will be engaged in innovation through students and faculty members. They will bring change in the society and which will accelerate again further learning in the for the benefit of mankind. This is a very important sign before I go into the real learning. Now, if you look to, as I said you, in the university excellence pillar, teaching and learning is very important pillar. And teaching and learning processes are complementary, mutually supportive and reinforcing. Mutually supportive and reinforcing. That means teaching and learning cannot be separated. I'll quote here Einstein, Sir Isaac Einstein. What he said, Albert Einstein said, that if you do not learn in a simple manner, you cannot teach in a simple manner. That means your learning is fundamental, and then you have to go for teaching. And if you, I have experienced in my life as a teacher for last so many years, that if you want to teach a new subject in the classroom, you have to learn it fast. And how do you learn? Not by merely going to the library or reading some textbooks, but doing some hard work to capture the knowledge and practicing it in the classroom, explaining it to the students, and engaging the students in mutual discussion. So therefore, what I said you, teaching and learning processes are complementary, mutually supportive, and reinforcing. Learning reinforces teaching, teaching reinforces learning. So these are all mutually supportive. Teaching and learning must be inclusive. Inclusive means just listen, look here. Teaching and learning must be inclusive means in teaching, for that we create a climate. How do you judge the climate? Climate is judged by temperature and pressure of the institution. Temperature and pressure are the two parameters by which we judge the climate of a situation. Climate, temperature and pressure. So in the university campus, in the classroom, how do you create the climate? What is temperature and what is pressure? The pressure doesn't mean stress. Pressure means stress-free. Can you create a climate of stress-free environment in the classroom so that teaching becomes effective and learning becomes effective? Second, after the climate, the contents of it is important. The contents that you prepare as a teacher is important. And pedagogy, which I'll discuss in much detail later. Now, these three things, climate, contents, and pedagogy, three things is a system which will be delivered to the students and other beneficiaries. They may be managers, they may be citizens, there may be anybody which will go to, and these, the human capital which is formed here in the students and beneficiaries, ultimately they will go for creating development, welfare, because our objective of any society is maximum welfare for the maximum number. It is not maximum happiness towards maximum number. It is maximum welfare for the maximum number. This is very, very important. Then you see, teaching and learning process enhance capability of the learners. Please understand here, you are all teachers in the classroom. What is the objective of teaching to a student or to a group of students in the classroom? You may answer to me that we want to enhance capability of a student. Capability. Capability means capacity. Capacity means to do work. Work means to build energy. Energy means capacity to do work. So when we talk of capability of an individual, we are engaged in the classroom. So we measure that capability in three forms: absorptive capability, combinative capability, and integrative capability. Remember, these are very important lessons for you. I am speaking out of my 57 years of experience as a teacher. Absorptive capability means you must judge what you are teaching or what you are transferring to the students. Are they absorbing that knowledge or not? Absorbing. How do you test that? Are they absorbing means in the classroom itself, you should create a climate. The students should ask you questions and you should ask them questions. So there will be discussion. Then the absorption will take place. If I here what I am doing now, I am not a teacher the type in which I am doing now. I am a teacher in the classroom. I ask students the questions, students ask me questions. We mutually understand each other. As a result of which, whatever I am teaching, whether it is any mathematics or any engineering, because I am an engineer, I teach engineering. I have taught engineering throughout my life and the management subjects I have taught throughout my life. So I use to improve the capability of the students. First capability is absorptive capability. Absorptive capability, the retention ability of the students to capture the concepts, the application, the findings, the discussion, interpretation, implication. And for absorptive capability, testing is needed all the time. You test them through quizzes, you test them through seminars, you test them from tests, you test them through examination. By different methods, you test the absorptive capability of the students. This is a very traditional and classical method of judging capability. The other capabilities, which are two other capabilities which are important, that you have to give the students to judge their combinative capability. Suppose a student is learning different subjects in the same course or in the same discipline. Suppose you are studying pharmaceutical science, or you are studying nursing, or you are studying law, or you are studying engineering, or you are studying general arts. How do you combine all the subjects that you have taught into a unified whole? That means your learning is ultimately is not separate. That means you go down mathematics doesn't mean mathematics cannot be applied to social problem. You see, the social problem is all being solved through mathematics. Your computer science is full of mathematics, and computer is solving the problems of the society. Whether you call it artificial intelligence or machine learning or what you call the social systems, everything is through mathematical modeling, all these things are being solved. So combinative capability is to be developed through by giving the students projects and problem solving tutorials so that they apply all the knowledges they have learned in a particular course or a particular discipline by combining them into a unifying concept. And finally, when they go to an industry or to an employer or a service, they should be capable to integrate the entire knowledge that they learned in the campus. Not only the coursework, but debating skills, leadership skills, working skills, games and sports, leadership, volunteering, many other things. All these things are integrative capability. So when these three capabilities are combined, your teaching becomes complete. Otherwise, I tell you why some campuses, particularly some industries, big industries in the world, go to Harvard or Kellogg or MIT or Stanford, and even in India, why good industry people or foreign multinationals go to good campuses? The reason being, the students are well grounded in terms of capability. I have been a teacher way back in 1978, 79 in Accelerate Jamshedpur. I have seen in that institute, at that time, lot of good industry people, multinational like Hindustan Lever, now of course Amazon, now of course Google, or even the other companies like Microsoft, they are going there. Why? Because the students have got good integrative capability. They develop a wholesome personality. So teaching and learning is not teaching, taking a subject and a textbook and only delivering in the classroom. You have to develop an integrated personality of the student. Now, I have a very interesting formula. You see here, actuality is our what we do, what we perform. Productivity is much more than actuality, and capability is much more than productivity. So C is always greater than P. P is greater than A. So our objective as a teacher, right, must be that what we do as actual, in actual, we must try to improve our productivity and finally to capability. We have inherent capability, we have got potentiality, we must touch our potential, and that's the objective of a teacher, to harness the potentials of the student, not only in the classroom, but in the campus. And when they go into beyond the campus, they will remember you as a wonderful teacher, and that is why I will tell you, a teacher is for eternity. A teacher is not only for the classroom. Teacher is for eternity, a perpetual respect you as a teacher will have. So teaching and learning needed to be tested and monitored. It has to be tested and monitored. Monitoring must be discreetly designed, and results must be fed back for coaching and counseling. That when you see the students whom you are teaching, you must monitor them, whether they are really learning, whether they are learning and developing combinative capability or not, they are developing absorptive capability or not, they are developing integrative capability or not. It has to be measured, and you have to engage them through feedback mechanism for coaching and counseling for superior performance. That means ultimately they should harness their inherent potential. If you look for a musician, you look for drama, you look for any field of activity, even in farming, agriculture, inherent potential exists for everybody, even for a sportsman or for a standard human being or a student. So in order to harness the potentials of these individuals, you have to look for harnessing the capability. Therefore, it must be monitored all the time, whether he is improving or not. If you do not monitor beyond the classroom, then probably you are not in constant or continuous relationship with the students. You are just 9 to 5 teachers or 10 to 4 teachers. So that is what is not teaching. Teaching, I tell you, is a very difficult job. When I took up teaching, I had many options before me. Way back in 1967, when I graduated in engineering, I have the option. I was working as an assistant engineer, but I came back to teaching because I thought teaching is the more difficult job in life. Because in order to build human capital, in order to build human beings, successful and good human beings, you have to be a successful teacher. And to be a successful teacher, you have to learn things very carefully. Okay, so I'll go into next thing, teaching pedagogy, which is important. I have already told you pedagogy, climate, and content. Pedagogy is more important, and your sum and substance of this session is how to use a pedagogy. I'll tell you what is a pedagogy. Pedagogy is the combination of teaching methods, what instructors do, learning activities, what instructor asks their students to do, and learning assessment, the assignment, projects, or tasks that measure students learning. Pedagogy is a system. Please understand, pedagogy is a system. Pedagogy is situation specific and contextual. I'll explain this thing. Pedagogy is a system means a system has got many elements. It is not only a computer is also there, a classroom is also there, a blackboard is also there, And library is also there. Everything is there in the pedagogy. That what the teacher must combine the teaching method and how the students will learn and how will carry out the assessment of learning, to test their ability, to test their capability. That is what is pedagogy is a system. And pedagogy is situation specific. That means what you teach to the undergraduate student and what you teach to the postgraduate student are different. Different pedagogy. In undergraduate students, you become more textbook oriented. But in postgraduate students, you become more self-study oriented, project oriented, problem solving oriented, project oriented, and then you send them for industry visits, you send them for experiential learning. Therefore, it is context specific and situational. So pedagogy has to be judged in terms of situation. For example, you are going to give a lecture to the industry managers, which I have done for many years in my life as a teacher, as a professor. might have taught several thousands of top level executives in my career. And the same way, the way we teach our students in the classroom, postgraduate students or undergraduate students in the classroom, or even our research scholars, which I have done all kinds of teaching. You cannot do it same way to the industry executive. For teaching industry executive, your pedagogy must be different. Your outlook must be different. Your learning must be different. So that is why I'm telling it is situation specific and context specific. Pedagogy must be developmental and multidimensional. Remember this, very important. You cannot, pedagogy should not be only one dimensional. It must be multidimensional. And it must be development oriented, not growth oriented. Unfortunately, in our country, we are now telling, our Prime Minister is telling that we are going to become the third largest economy. On the other hand, it is shameful for the country that we are going to feed 80 crores of people with 5 kilos of rice and rest. This is not development. The development means not growth in economy. Growth means in $1 trillion, growth is not measured. That whether your people are living a decent life, the quality of life, there is no poverty, everybody is happy, happiness index. I have taught in the Scandinavian countries, particularly in Sweden, in the University of Sweden, I have taught, and I have seen how those people in those countries are happy. You see, everybody is happy in Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. These countries, people, you see, they don't amass wealth. They have not much wealth, but they are happy. They are healthy because there the education is freely given to all the citizens and health care is taken care by the government for all the citizens. The education and health care, with the basic necessity of a human being, is given freely to everybody without charging. If you are a citizen in a Scandinavian country, for example, Sweden, no children till from KG to PG, no money is charged for education. No money is charged, and healthcare is totally free for them. So this is what is multidimensional development. It is not single dimensional development. If you have got money, you can go to a better college, better institution, and here there is differences in status and all that. So this is what bothers me in our educational system. Okay, so let me talk about the pedagogy. This is a system concept which you can go through. I'll leave this slide for with you. You can go through because time is coming to an end. So you can, it is already 3:30. We have got very little time. So let me go into teaching pedagogical methods. I'll start with, I have listed some of the methods which I have used that in my career in the last 57 years. Of course, the first is the lecture method. And since I am a teacher, I started my career in 1967. At that time, we had no other alternative except in teaching in through chalk and duster and black. So lecture method is the blackboard method, or now it is whiteboard and black pen. Now, let me tell you, out of my own experience, I find that method was very, very effective method. If you have not understood a subject properly, you cannot teach, articulate in the blackboard and facing the students. That was a very effective method. In fact, during Corona time, COVID-19 time, I was invited by a group of people, group of institutions and schools and colleges to deliver a lecture. How effective is what you call this webinar method of teaching, which we are doing now. I say you do not have any interaction with the students. You do not have any interactions with the eye-to-eye contact. You cannot clarify the doubts. You cannot see to the eyes, to the minds of the people. So when you are teaching through blackboard and chalk and duster and giving a lecture, and when you are asking questions, you can see the psychological, you can study the minds of the people, attentiveness of the student. It's a very effective method, is blackboard method. But now there are some remedies which have come, which you call the smart classroom. Many of the Western universities have got smart classroom. I have taught in many US universities as well as other universities across Europe and Thailand and other countries, Korea and all that. I have seen the smart classroom is also a very good system compared to simply blackboard and chalk duster. In the smart classroom, you have got all kinds of gadgets to use it so that you can cover a large amount of subject from your teaching agenda in a smaller amount of time. So your coverage becomes better. And you can test also the students in that method. This is what we call the lecture method. Because I have to be brief. Because if you have any doubt, you can ask me questions, or you can ask me questions through my email, you can write to me. Assignment-based method. Assignment-based. I, as a teacher, have used this method profusely whenever I teach any subject in the classroom. Right? I give assignment not just for the sake of copy and paste. I give it for problem solving. I give it for reflective exercises. If you can make your assignment problem solving based, you see, if you go to any American textbook, you find the same subject, no two textbooks are same. They are all different. Concept wise they are same, but the problems are different. The applications, they have to, you have to do creative. This is where the innovation starts. If you do not solve a problem by the assignment method, you cannot become over. And for doing that, you as a teacher must learn that. I know some of my teachers, they are so good in problem solving and they infuse that culture of problem solving in us during our student days. I cannot forget those teachers, and probably I imbibe that. And I have seen also some of my teachers who are giving reflective assignments, and I have used that reflective assignment method, reflective exercises, so that. But ultimately, what happens if you give assignment to the students, if you do not evaluate those assignments, then there is no point in giving these assignments. For example, I'll give you, when I was a student of Delft University of Technology in Netherlands, my teachers there, University in Netherlands, Delft University of Technology in Netherlands, where I was doing my MBA. At that time, the teachers were giving us reflective assignments. And once we do the reflective assignment, they will test us through quizzes that how we have been able to create this reflection. This is the method. Because I cannot discuss all these things in detail with you in short of time, but this is what we call the assignment is a very powerful method of learning and teaching. Problem solving and reflective problem solving assignment and reflective assignment. The third method is what you call discussion based. Discussion based, Because I had a teacher in IIT Kharagpur, because I am a student of IIT Kharagpur, and I have seen my teachers were engaging us mostly in discussion-based teaching. They will, my professor will bring some textbooks from the library. A peon will carry, the class size was 32, and he will carry 32 textbooks, and the teacher will distribute 32 textbooks to 32 students. And the teacher was assigning us, each one of us, a chapter from the 32 books. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, like that. So all these chapters are assigned. And in the next class, the teacher will ask to present that chapter in a 15 minutes to 30 minutes period. And that exercise will continue till that those textbook is finished. So this is what we call discussion-based pedagogy. The third is in the postgraduate and the research scholar teaching. I have used research paper. I asked my research scholar to study research papers and make a presentation in a seminar. I asked my research scholar to study some thesis and present it in a seminar so that they learn by learning. So this is what we call discussion based, and mutual discussion take place, and as a result of which not only the research scholar learns or my postgraduate students learn, they learn, everybody learns in the process. But what, in order to test their capability again, what I do, that if you are giving some research papers or textbooks, different chapters, you should in the midterm examination also, or mid-semester examination, end semester examination, you must ask questions from those chapters which they are present. So that every student who are present, they will learn it and will be writing the answers for those questions which is present in the examination. So this is what we call discussion based. Discussion based can be in groups. Discussion can be also individual. Then you can go into tutorial based pedagogy. Tutorial based pedagogy. Tutorial means basically tutorial should be aimed at coaching and counseling. You have to improve the coaching and counseling of the students. You coach the students and counsel them for improvement. This is a tutorial based method. Because tutorial method is always meant for the weaker classes, weaker students. You have to improve the weak students in the classroom through tutorial method. It's a very good pedagogy. For example, IIT Madras, long before, very long before I am talking, maybe some 30, 40 years before, when the government introduced the what you call the quota system in admission, particularly the weaker section students were not catching up with the higher level students. So they were being given a lot of tutorial and remedial coaching or through tutorial pedagogy. Workshop based method. You can give a topic or a theme and students will come prepared for that workshop, and you can have asked questions and people will start making discussion and question answer text. Then seminar based, laboratory based, seminar based is same as workshop based, but in the seminar you go through the presentation. Laboratory based means is a very interesting thing which I have experimented in my life as a teacher. In engineering, in science, we have theory classes and laboratory classes. In other subjects like management and all that, we do not have laboratory classes. I introduced as a vice chancellor in this university where I am working now as the chief consultant. I introduced the laboratory system when I was the vice chancellor in management college. I said that in the morning hour, you learn the theory. In the afternoon hour, you come to the laboratory classes. So I created a number of laboratories. For example, a student is interested in banking and finance. So I created a banking laboratory. simulated basic laboratory through computer. If somebody is interested in working in a project, construction project, I created a simulated laboratory project manager. So like that, many laboratories were created and the faculty members were trained by taking the experts from industry to tell them the practical way of doing things. So whatever concept they have learned in the classroom through theory session, they were using it in the afternoon for writing down, doing the practical. And this particular method is very much prevalent in medical science and medical education. You know that the students who go through different courses in the morning in the classroom, in theory classes, like maybe in anatomy, physiology, or biochemistry, or medicine, or surgery, or orthopedics. Afternoon they go and evening they go for and move with the doctors for learning to practice. And they get engaged in workshops and discussions with the faculty members of medical college. This is a very good, powerful method. Similarly, in laws, legal law science, law education, in legal education, you have got moot court, and you create a laboratory, a simulated laboratory called moot court for teaching the law students. And you also get some public events, and you invite public to come with the events, and we engage the law students to listen to the event and give the legal help and legal support for their literature. This is what happens in what you call the laboratory method. Then you have case study method. Case study method is a very powerful method that you develop some cases, real life examples, and discuss it in the classroom and give it to students for discussion and mutual discussion through which many of the prescriptions some what could have been done in that situation. So you learn through case methods of that. Similarly, you also come for role play. You ask the students to write a drama, to write a short drama, a short play on a particular incident and then demonstrate it by role play. So they will learn better through that pedagogy, role play method. Storytelling method. Storytelling means you describe the incident and through story so that they will learn it better rather than giving them something. Then also, apart from the storytelling, gaming is a very powerful method. Gaming and simulation based. You engage students for business games, you engage students in materials games, you engage students in production games, and you simulate by simulation you also teach many of the complex subjects. Now, another very important which I have used in my life as a teacher is competition-based pedagogy. What is competition-based pedagogy? How did I learn? I will tell you. I let me tell you the origin of my learning, that how I have used it. When I was a student in the high school, in my high school, our history teachers and geography teachers and social science teachers, basically, they will give one chapter, that is the Mughal period, to one group of students and English period, British period to one group of students. So the British people will ask Mughal period questions, Mughal period people will ask British period questions. So the competition takes place between these two groups, and as a result of which both the groups learn the Mughal period history and British period history. This is very competition, and finally the team which becomes winner, the teacher was giving us some kind of, during those days, these kinds of chocolates or toffees were not there. At least we were getting some lozenges as a students. I used the same method in my class, competition based, and I developed different kinds of case study method of teaching and allowed them to compete with each other to coming out with creative solutions for the same kind of case. For example, I have used it for the managers. In Indian Oil Corporation, I have used many managers for this competition-based case study discussion. So I was engaging group of 5 in different projects and they would do a presentation. And I invite external, particularly their general managers and senior level management to judge their managers how they are competing with each other in bringing out practical, real life problem solution and how feasible it is for implementation. So this is what is very, very powerful pedagogy. May not be always suitable, but in the classroom, you can use this competition based, which I have experienced, is a very powerful tool to bring the real spirit of performing students to come out in a better way. Then you got project based. Nowadays, people are talking of project based. That means I, as a teacher, always giving project based. That means you give a project, whether a library project or an industry project, and you define the scope and the breadth and depth of the project, and they go on collecting data and do all kinds of exercises, real life analysis, and make a presentation. So this is called project-based pedagogy. And another is industry visits. I know in our IIT system, IIT Kharagpur, I have taught also in IIT Delhi, I have taught also sometimes as visiting professor at IIM Calcutta. I have seen the the industry visits is a very powerful. In DT, when I was a professor and dean and also director for many years, I have used this industry visit method as a good pedagogy for learning of students. In industry visit and interactions, you decide an industry and you talk with that industry, the particular department, and you send your students, a group of students, they will go and interact with those executives. They come out with the findings and the solution. And that is why the NITI students particularly were being hampered by industry for good employment across the country. This is what different types of pedagogy. So this is what I tell you about pedagogy. Now let me go into next slide after the pedagogy. So fundamentals of teaching and learning is what now? So innovations in teaching and learning is based on how to use this pedagogy and what kind of innovations you carry in this pedagogy. Say, for example, project-based learning, industry visit, simulation, laboratory-based method. This is where you have to bring some kind of differentiation and innovations in the learning process. Okay? So fundamentals of teaching and learning is very, very important. Now, students will learn well the way that the teachers learn well. This is Albert Einstein said that, as I told you earlier, that if you want to teach a subject better, you have to learn it well. And if you can explain it in a simple manner, then you are a wonderful teacher. And second is you must diversify your teaching methods. The pedagogy you have to diversify, not only focus or concentrate only on the lecture method of teaching or blackboard method of teaching or textbook discussion teaching or even the moot court based teaching. You have to diversify your pedagogy. You have to diversify your method to make the session interesting and encouraging. Students understand how your disciplinary knowledge is organized and constructed. This is a very important thing. Students are judging the faculty members all the time. Who is a good teacher and who is a bad teacher. My request to all the faculty members like you that you have to organize your disciplinary knowledge. Suppose you belong to the discipline of pharmaceutical science or you belong to the discipline of law or general science, physics or chemistry. You have to organize your discipline knowledge such a manner that it is constructed to develop some simplified understanding by selection of the proper pedagogy. And pedagogy already I have said you. So you must prepare students academically as well as to learn your teaching. But let me tell you, academic rigor is the only key to be a successful teacher and build human capital. Love and trust are the foundational pillars to become a very good teacher. Love and trust. You love your students, like a mother. You trust your students like a mother. Then you will see the climate which I discussed you earlier, the teaching climate, the campus climate will change. And most importantly, third thing is continuous relationship building. Continuous relationship building is also another key to the success of a particular campus. That means we are looking IIT alumni base, across global alumni base, because there is a perfect continuous relationship building between the institution and the alumni, the past students. And if that doesn't happen, you may talk of 100 pedagogy, you may talk of 100 computer, you may talk of many other things, artificial intelligence and many things, but continuous relationship building with the students and the taught, and students expressing the gratitude to their teachers, and teachers in turn giving love and affection to their students is the fundamental to innovative creation of university excellence. Innovatively, you can create excellence in universities. Now it is already 4 o'clock. So what shall I to continue, or I will go ahead with the other presentation? The other aspect is learning system. You can go through. I'll leave this particular presentation slide to all of you, and which is well explained in the inside the slides. You can go through these things. That is learning management system, crossover learning management system, many learning management system, blended learning, embedded learning, many other learning methods I have discussed. So you can go through this, and now I would allow you to ask me questions at least for another 5 to 10 minutes to clarify some of the doubts if you have. Is that okay? Hello? 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 Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, okay, sir.
Yogita ji, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Can some of you ask some questions? We can spend some 5 to 10 minutes for question answer session.
I request you all if you
I'll share this particular presentation to all of you. You can go, and if you have any doubt, you can always write to me in my email. Yes.
I request you all if you are having any queries or question, you can ask.
Any question, not related to this topic which I discussed, this academy, any academic question that you face in your real life. Yes. Anybody has got any question? Hello?
As of now, there is no question, sir.
Anybody has got any question? Has anybody would like to give any comment? No, if there is no question, any comment, how far you have understood, whether you have understood it or not. Hello? Hello? Yeah. If you do not have any question, shall I tell you God bless you all? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Shall I close it here? If you have no question, no comments, nothing. And what I'll do, I'll send to Yogita ji or to the dean
Hello, sir.
this particular presentation by mail, so that all of you can take it and share it, use it, whatever you can do. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir, for this informative session. It is very fruitful to us.
Okay, that is the comment. I am grateful to all of you. God bless you all. Right? Namaskar to all of you. Namaskar to all of you. এটা তো দেখে চলবে ফোন চলছে দেখে
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ I am sending it this presentation.
Thank you, sir, for giving this type of complete knowledge about the learning and academic procedure.
I am sending it this my
Such a great knowledge.
my
Hello.
only suggestion to all
Thank you, sir.
here. I could see some hundreds of teachers here. Be secular and be lovable to your students. Don't fall into the trap of attractness and propagated by the political leaders.
Sure, sir.
Okay?
Yeah. Sir. Thank you, sir.
The session for today's FDP program is over. Thank you so much. You may left now.